Hello, this is I Can't Escape Darkness, where we're doing something a bit different because I played for an hour and I accidentally didn't actually have my microphone recording, right? So I did the tutorial area, which was learn how to use the map, walk around. You get a flashlight. Flashlight is necessary for going through the dark. Pardon me. But it does have a battery, which you can take it into your inventory and right click. It shows you that later. So you do have to conserve power. You can't necessarily see it whilst you're going on the thing, but this is a game very much like The Legend of Blackrock, but rather than being 4 people, it's just 1 person. And obviously other older games that Legend of Blackrock was based upon, right? We've missed a bit there. Basically, that's over a hole in the floor and you throw the rock to hit and activate the button. And I was always saying, oh, you can never have too many rocks, and that's why I always kept picking up extra rocks and putting them in my inventory. Right, so this is the first bit of combat. There's a rat in the way, so you get a pointy stick to go take down the rat with, and you'll notice all the creepy vines in the walls, and the sound again in the game, and the lighting and everything. Very well done for keeping the tension. All very well designed. So yeah, you got 1 item as a weapon. It's space to attack rather than left click. I would like left click personally, and F for flashlight, but that's only for your right hand. If you put it in the other hands, then space is flashlight and F is attack. So bear that in mind. It's like space is always left hand, F is always right hand. It expects you to put the torch in the right hand. And I guess our hero is a left-handed person. Even though the stick goes all over the place, you know, it's like not that easy to tell. Right, so taking down the rat's fairly easy, 2 hits. Skip ahead a bit, the rest of the puzzle. Oh yeah, there's eyes in the wall, and I've poked every eye I've came across in the hope that it's an achievement to sort of poke every eye in the face. So here's where you actually start the first level. So you end up with the flashlight already in your hands, but you don't end up with anything else. Oh yeah, X. I was confused as to whether X was on or X was off. So I tested it a few times. It was like, right, so X is definitely a tick to say you can have the map and you can save. I was a little unsure. Now everything is procedurally generated, so all of the levels are different every single time you play, so bear that in mind. There are 5 floors, right? That was sharing the battery. The battery's already part used when you're starting. I don't know if that's because I went through the tutorial, and that's the amount it expects you to use in the tutorial. I used a bit less than that, I do believe. And also picking up every rock I can take, pushing every button I come across. I don't know if the hand symbol means something. It may well do, because I had a sense something was going to happen later, and it did. So, I don't know, maybe I picked up on some sort of subliminal thing. I tried throwing the rock in his eye, but that doesn't really work. So, stab him in the eye, but no, it puts it in my inventory, and I'm like, no, I'm trying to stab him in the eye whilst holding the rock. So, gotta stab every eye. I don't know, because there's a watcher that talks to you, whether it's that guy or something else that you'll see later. Pick up every rock, you know, you can never have too many rocks. Rocks are always useful in these sorts of games. Put it in my inventory. Spider webs. And, of course, I fall down a hole. Not deliberately, though. Oh no, I went down the steps at the first point, right. So that was the Watcher guy. It's like, we're in the darkness now, we listen to him, and I was doing the creepy voice. The darkness is such a covered this floor, but beware the magic puppets. It rocks your soul. Seeks the treasure behind the spider's seal. Guarded though it is, it may prolong your life. Terry nuts. What is a Terry? I've never heard of such a saying. And descend to the floor as soon as you are able. So I went about the Terry knots as well for a bit. I was like, what the hell's a Terry? I've never heard of a Terry knots. And then that's when I fell down the floor and it's like, oh shit, whoops. So I listened to him again. It's like, oh hello guy, you a bad guy? No. The darkness is not yet pervaded, or the darkness walks on into here. Look only in the light yourself, do not linger in the shadow, you will be consumed. I didn't read it all. But yeah, there are things that come get you in the dark, and you get a limp as well when you're falling through the floor. You can heal it up with mushrooms, which I discovered later, but it's kind of like, no, this limp, it's not very good for me. The rats are already dead on this floor. This wasn't the run where I decided to go speedrun strats right to the ends, but I died. How did I? Oh yeah, I know how I died in this one. Oh, what could go wrong with this long corridor of red things that I'm going to unlock that you sort of skipped ahead a bit to? Like, yes, I could tell there was something ominous about this long bloody red corridor. What could possibly go wrong here? And I even saw it coming, but I'd already clicked W by that point, and you don't get to go, no, don't go into it. So, splash. 5 minutes, pardon me, 58 seconds on that run. And then I failed the first time, which I didn't find the first time, but listening to the guy, because I didn't notice it first time, I was just too busy walking around. So he does talk to you on the first one and says, hey, I'll talk to you later. And then I realised, yeah, we can save. Right, is this where I've already gone? Yeah, I've already gone down some holes. And I go, speedrun strats, let's just keep finding more and more holes. So let's go down as far as we can go. It turns out we can go 5 floors down. So I don't know if there are 5 floors in total, but they are procedurally generated, so it's different every time. And it's not easy by any means. You'll notice that there's a lot of torches on the walls as well. I spotted something else later, that those watchers turn on the lights, so I don't know if it's just for that floor, or if you complete the floor they come with you, rather than if you fall through the floor and speedrun strats ahead to the end. Which, I think this is floor 5 of the living maze. Again, I don't know if there's something special you need to actually complete this floor, because I fully unmapped it, and that eye didn't even open. I just had to splat it because I was splatting every eye. It may also be the eyes that are talking to us. Apart from those things, I could have possibly got through that, but I was too slow. And there's another similar thing later. But once it's closed, and there's nothing you can do to get through it. So that's another thing. I found that wall there as well. It sort of looks like you could break it, and on the map it does have the symbol that it's somewhere that you can go past. It's like, look, it's caved in. So, you know, that may also be somewhere else that you could go if you've got the right items to do it. But obviously I only had my stick and rock from skipping ahead. And then of course we find the darkness, which I had to do to actually get ahead. And then the next run we had mushrooms, which I'd never seen anywhere before, and the mushrooms were absolutely everywhere this time. And this is the main run where I finished off last. It's like, we've done a lot of puzzles. That was a good puzzle. It's an interesting one. That rock won't budge. I didn't want to stay in the darkness too long because of what was in the darkness at the bottom that killed us before. So yeah, I'm probably wasting my flashlight a lot on this run. But there's 4 buttons. Most of them don't budge for now, but this one will click. And then you'll notice that to the left behind, the wall starts to come down. And then we just have to keep, you can see there, pushing all the buttons in the right order until we find all of them can be pushed in, and then that doorway opens. So it's more than just a simple button pushing to get past that bit. And then, oh look, what could possibly go wrong here? Let's grab this glass bottle. It's obviously a more powerful weapon. And then, yeah, we get attacked. We should have known that we could get ambushed. But we got ambushed by gigantic rats. And then the bloody thing, it goes away with time, but it's kind of a bit worrying. And then I've got attacked by more rats later, and it just keeps going more and more. And there was more voice acting when I read that note. I did a different voice, but I'm not going to do it again now. And the teleport, as you go through the darkness, it teleported us over here, so we kept getting teleported going through the pervasive darkness, as I called it, which I haven't really showed off in the skipping ahead of the videos. So there are corridors that are completely magically enshrouded by darkness that you have to use your flashlight to get through, and it just ends in a solid black wall. And obviously it's teleporting you whilst you're doing that. So that is a thing. But we unlocked more and more routes, and we didn't even fully explore the top floor. But I fell down a hole again. And that rat, which poisoned us even more. So, yeah. And how I fell down the hole was because, like I said, the button, I had the sense that the button was kind of a thing, and I was like, this one doesn't have a trap under it, because the last one that I fell through when I went through the thing, which I skipped past again, I walked towards it and it was a poorly shrouded thing where if you walked on the floor it was a trap which you could see at various points. It was like partially covered with vines. So I was like, well, this one isn't partially covered with vines. What could possibly go wrong? And I was like, well, I just have the feeling that this button's going to chuck me through the floor again. And what do you know? It drops me through the floor when I push the button. This is the button. I was like, well, there's no vines under it. Oh, bollocks. So we broke our leg again. And this is where I spotted that the Seeker was lighting up the lights for us. If we get to the bit, it just lights the torch for us nicely, and it's like, wow, I didn't know you do that. I thought you were an enemy. But clearly not, you're our friend. Are you the one talking to us, or is it the eyeballs in the wall? More rats again, of course. I don't know if the enemy variety changes. I know there's a lot of puzzle things that could kill you. And again, this eyeball that we could fill the slots with. I've made lots of references to Resident Evil, like going down the stairs and putting things in the eyeballs in the walls. You just need to find the right things to go in them. But we can put the mushrooms and rocks in them, but it's just not the right thing to do. Funny though, but still. Again, I hadn't equipped the glass bottle at that point, but then I thought, wait, well, this should be a better weapon, surely. It sounds like metal, though. If we hit it against the wall. I can't feed him a scroll, either, because that would have been funnier to put in his mouth. So, let's attack the wall. It's definitely a metallic bottle, rather than the glass one. And then we found another scroll. I was worried again about the rat coming for us this time, and it's the lighter! But no rat or anything came for us, or even spiders, because I was kind of expecting spiders from this floor, from what we knew. So, more and more rocks. I do run out of rocks though, because I should have picked up more rocks. I left that rock by accident. Eyeball! And I was always saying, well, you can never have too many rocks. I've got 1,000,000 mushrooms at this point, by the way. And there was one, because we learnt through reading those things. I also thought he might have been showing us a secret there. It's like, is that a secret wall you've shown me? How kind of you. Oh, no, only you can go through it. Yeah, so secrets. I'm sure there's more secrets, but millions of mushrooms. And I commented, oh, well, you know, it says, oh, how can you identify the different ones? And I've got one that's greeny and looks poisoned. So I was like, oh, well, that one's got to be the one that's the healing one then, surely, rather than all these blue ones. And here is where the spider's den is. And I'm expecting spiders to come down on us. And, oh look, rock button puzzles. So, I only have one rock and I threw it and I hit that button. Perfectly fine. But then obviously there's another one on the other side over there. So I need to go throw a rock at that. Not there, the other side obviously. I'm still scared of spiders coming down and descending upon me. But I've got nothing to throw. I've got a seal for the eyes though, one of the seals. I don't know where I get the other one. I guess maybe from pushing the other button it opens somewhere where I can get the other seal. But we go ahead. And we heal up with the other mushroom upstairs. It heals our limping and then gets us back on form. But then I save and call it a day. So yeah, there's a lot more interesting commentary before, but obviously accidentally not having my microphone turned on for my recording We'll explore the rest another day. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.